Good morning, everybody. If you want to run Rosanna or Randy's lives this morning, you won't know this, but it's a bit of a hot mess express over here. This is literally the fastest space in the West, but I couldn't do much with this hair. We'll just say that. But it's all right because I want to dye it tonight, and you're not supposed to dye clean hair, so it's okay. You're supposed to leave your natural oils on it to protect it. So, but because I was doing that, obviously you don't want to put dry shampoo in it. So we're just gonna go with what it is, and we'll just go down to the mat, lickety splickety. I am hoping to finish up with, well, today is going to be the last day of the FOCs. We'll see how much is left over afterwards. I was kind of like picking through the pieces, but then I got caught up in Rosanna's sun catcher and was just sitting here like this. And then she goes, okay, well, I think I'm going to go, folks. And I'm like, wait, what? It can't be that late already. Ran to the bathroom, did the best I could in the amount of time. But yeah. But then I came back in here trying to figure out what I was going to do this morning. So it wasn't quite so designed on the fly, as I did have a rough night last night. So, but I was picking through some things, got up, had to pull out my couple of my Randy order boxes that need to be sorted amongst within my stuff. So, and I found a strand of beads that is really pretty that I might mix in today. I'm not sure. So let me show you what we have left, because I thought I was going to be able to I feel like use some projects that I didn't actually get to, and don't know that I will be able to use it, but we'll see. So, hello everybody. Oh, let's say hi. Hi Barbara. Hi Carolyn. Hi Dawn. Ooh, slim pickings today as far as viewers go. That's okay. People will, I'm sure, watch the replay. And we're just coming in, so I'm sure people will trickle in as we get, as we're on the air longer. So let's go ahead and go down to my mat. You'll see. It's okay. Oh, oops. There we go. Alrighty. So, I'll mention this again later on. All of you beautiful ladies who are, sorry, this is just not where it's supposed to be. There, kind of. Okay. Not quite. Still need to go a little bit. There we go. Sorry. Hello, Gloria. Anyone who got boxes, those have been shipped out, but I have little baggies put aside so that if any of you were to like want to add to what's in the box, we can do so. I did make sure that there was enough to, at a minimum, make one full set, being earrings, bracelet, necklace. But if you find like maybe you make the set and then you are like perusing your leftovers at that point and are like, man, I wish I had a few more of these, I had beads put to the side for it. They are also a representation of the things that are within my shop. So, and on my live. So we'll go there. Rosanna, you just missed it. I said that I have little baggies put to the side for everybody who got a promo box sent out, in case you get it and you're like, oh, I want more of these, or I wish I could have more of those. I have them put along to the side. So I'm excited for you to get yours, Rosanna, because I took this. I could have just I could have put some of your known favorites that I know you love. And I kind of sort of did. I just did it with a little twist on what I've seen you get excited about before in the past. So I hope that I went the right way. Anyway, so what we have left is these wooden beads. We have we also have the cubes in check glass with what I call the oil slick coating on it. Rosanna, do you know the real name for that? So that I stop calling it the oil slick and use its proper terms. That way, if anybody else is looking for it, they can search using the right name, because I'm not sure what it is. So I have, oh, why is my camera all over? That's why my mat looks funny. Oops, sorry. And then I can zoom in better. Here we go. Okay, so I have those cubes. I do have some wooden cubes, but I don't think I have as many wood. Well, maybe I do. I didn't think I had as many wood cubes that I did in glass cubes, but I just might. I'm not sure what to do with these. I'm sure that like I will be doing a large, actually, I do know what I want to do with these, but it isn't all stuff I got from Rand. It's stuff that I just got for collections and stuff like that. So, and I think these will go really good in a necklace idea that I have. So I'm gonna put these off to the side because I'm gonna use those later. I am. Okay, so then we have two of the little short tubes. We have three of the long tubes. Not sure if I will be able to figure that out. Let's see. We have two, two, and a leftover. And then we have two. Oh, that is the leftover. I was like, oh, look, I found another one. Same one I just had. Okay. So I have 12 of those. I have 8 of these, but some of them, is this a round and not a cube? No, it's a cube. It's just a rounded cube. So I have 10 of those. This is the strand I was thinking about bringing in. These would also be perfect with some of the dark sodalite that I have. It would also be really pretty with lapis. So if I don't end up using it here, it just might make its way into some lapis collections. But okay, then we have more of our glass pearls, the 2 bales that the angels went on. We've used everything else. I will go back at the end of the video today and go over everything in case you didn't catch this from the beginning so that you can see all the pieces. Oh, good news. I ordered several hundred of these, so in both silver and gold, so they'll be coming and will work their way into a sale once they get here. So yes, Jody! Aww, you're the bestest. Thanks for coming. I'm excited. Hi, Beth. Okay, I need somebody to do me a favor. You know when you're in the live chat, there's that little drop down like menu, and you can like do a heart or a smiley face or like whatever. Although I don't know that I'll be able to see it in StreamYard. I don't think I will. Man, I wanted to see if I could see it up on the screen. I had asked Rosanna if she saw them, and she didn't know what I meant. So, yeah, I don't know. It was cool. Okay, so we have our two, like, grandma, I'm gonna call it. Like, you know those suit jackets from, like, the 80s? That's what these remind me of. So, but I'm not sure that they'll be able. I would have to put like get some of my less expensive crystals to put in the middle so that it stays on the beading wire, but that's not a problem. We all know I got plenty of those. Let me see what I have over here. And I'm not saying these are bad things. If you like them, that's totally okay. Actually, I'm just gonna use Steve beads. That way I don't hurt anybody's feelings. But as I was sitting down, I saw these, and these are bone. I did not get them from Randy, but well, maybe these are too white to go with those. I don't know. I just thought those could be cool with the maybe. We'll see. If we put them just a little bit, like if we put a cube bead in between this and one of these, that could work. So I have two of them, and I don't know how I would make it look. I don't know what I could use for the center to then put these on the outside of said center. Oh wait, no, I do. I actually do. This is from my own like stuff, but I just bought a lot of black banded agate, you guys. Like a lot. And so I have these big, like, nugget faceted beads. Wouldn't that be pretty as the focal? And maybe add those in. So I'm not sure. I will look for it with tomorrow, but yeah. Wait, what happened? Oh no, Beth, are you serious? Oh no. Exactly, Carolyn, Grandma Blazer. Yes. Um, I thought you were talking about the package I sent you, Rosanna. Beth, are you serious? Oh, we all need to have a collective moment of silence for the beads that got lost from Beth to Rosanna. Oh, that makes me sad. Does he have the receipt so you can check it, or did he literally just pop a bunch of stamps on it and throw it in the mail? Just because it was in bubble envelopes doesn't mean it shouldn't have been insured. So I have these big ones that I could use one of. There is, well, no, that's not it. I believe there's one of these that's like pure black. It doesn't have any of the quartz, just says this one is all quartz, which is so beautiful. Oh yeah, here's the one that has, it's like the pure black back. Look at that one, has a smiley face. I see faces and everything. If you've been here for a bit, you know that about your girl. I see I think the tail end of every car is a face. I always see a face in those, but yeah. Okay, so I could possibly use one of these. I'm just trying to figure out like what exactly that would, if I did, I'd probably use this one since it's got the black and gray and then the quartz so that it kind of matches the pattern of these beads. Or am I fooling myself? And I also have smaller ones. So I have these too. Since I know Randy doesn't like watch a lot of content because she doesn't ever want to feel like she was copying somebody or whatever else. She got a black banded agate bag and it included some of these beautiful faceted beads. So I'm excited to see what she thinks of them. I also have just some tube beads. Maybe I'll do that instead. They're not as expensive as the other ones, but they're still cool with like the black and quartz. Mm-hmm. Let's see, let's see. That one's kind of cool. Hey, no ma'am. That one's kind of cool. These ones are too, but these two could be paired up if somebody so chose and said they wanted to do that. So anytime I have beads that look like they could pair up, I genuinely, there's that one, and then there's this one, which all the rest is black agate. So that one's really cool too. Okay, I think I'm gonna use that one and figure out, I may just have this above it and say that I'm gonna go the other way with the rest of it. Okay, so put those away. I know, I can't wait. It's great. Honey, we will try to figure out if hopefully we can fix it. On Monday, there's no way. I know why. We're in a government shutdown. The post office is running slower. I get that, but that bums me out. Okay, so I did grab these. I'm not sure that these will fit through. The thing, they might be too, no, they should fit. Let me see if that fits over the top. It does indeed. And it's almost perfectly the same size as the inner. Okay, cool. Cool. So since we know that, I might make those like some secondary focals further up the necklace. I have this little crystal flower that also came. It is centrally drilled, which I'm not much a fan of. But maybe I could always just glue it to that. No, the crystal's too pretty to glue it. Okay, I will figure it out. I'll just use like thin black wire. so it doesn't like show off too much. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do these as like the secondary focal. Let's see what we can do here. All right, I'm gonna grab out some soft flex. I don't know that I'll use all of this beading wire, but no leftover soft flex goes unused. I will figure out a way to use it one way or the other. Okay. Actually, I need to start with this. So I wonder if 24 gauge wire will fit through there. Is this it? Yes. 24 gauge wire. I was like, I just had it out the other day. Where's the end? What the heck? Where's the end of this wire? Oh my goodness. I don't want to be. There we go. Oh, that was much more difficult than it should have been. Okay, so this must have been the end piece, so I need to pull it back down and out where it should be coming from so that it doesn't kink. And I'm pulling it up. It was part of that wire that I just pulled off. Okay. I'm gonna pull off quite a large amount because I'm going to do a twist to go inside of the tube bead so it sits better because it has a larger hole and it will make it sturdier for the thicker wire. I should have found my center before I put the crystal on. Let's see here. Oh, you're okay, Tina. Hello. Hi, Shirley. That's insane that it's saying it just left today because it went out Monday afternoon. I do know how excited you were, but Dawn, Shirley. Hello. I'm a little frustrated though because I told my son to check and see if there was priority mail back. No, Mom, there's not because of the government shutdown. And then he looked this morning and it gave like what it would have been had it been priority. I don't know if that means that it was an option, but I told him next time not to assume, to check. Okay, so we're just going to crisscross this over the crystal but being careful, and I'm going to work up my twist a little bit faster than I normally would, just because I don't want the wire coming off of the twist to be too tight. Then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cheat this morning. I mean, I know it's a jewelry tool, but still. I'm going to cheat a little bit this morning and let my pin vise do the holding on. If it will, in fact, hold on to my wire. I might need to do my little bend trick that I do to give it something to hold on to. I just fold the ends over a little bit so that it, like I said, has something more. Now the smallest one is too small. Let's see if I take it all the way off, if I can get that in there. Oh, there's already wire stuck in there. How did that happen? There we go. That might have been the problem. It wasn't, the channel wasn't clear. It wasn't the wire itself not catching. It was the pin vise already having stuff within it. And then the twisting will come from the top, not from the bottom. Again, giving, oops. Oh. For some reason, my hands do not like this motion this morning. Okay, I'm going to call that good just because my hands are not happy with me making that motion over and over again. I think I want like a spacer or something between the bead or a bead cap. I'm just not sure which one. Let's see. What bead caps do I? Ooh, this might be good because then the end of the tube can sit within the like crevice of the rhinestone bead. Hopefully it is big enough to do so. Not quite. I need an 8mm one, but I'm not mad at that. It's not fully inside, but it's still pretty. So I'll need one for the top, and then I will just do a little wrap loop. I like the way it looks on the bottom more than I like the way it looks on the top. So, just a moment. while I peruse which bead packs I have at hand right here. These might be too small too, but we can check and see at least. I wouldn't say that this is too small, but I think it would look here. Nope, that's way too small. Sorry, the design process is going slow. Which other do I have right here? That's not a bead pack. A spacer, a spacer. Ah. Sorry, guys. I know it's designed on the fly. This is part of the process, but still, I don't like just leaving you guys hanging as I work through what I'm going to do or when I'm looking for stuff. Yes, that just happened. All that did, other than making a mess, was to show you that I have this really cool bead cap, but there's only one. And it wasn't, there's no more on the floor because, look, it would have been perfect. But I did find these, and I wonder if I stack these, if this will help. It's like a larger donut bead, but why did I put that on upside down? That was just silly. Yes, yeah, it won't sit. But these are perfect for leather, you guys. They're perfect for leather. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, the problem is that I know I have some a fabulous bead caps that would look good on me. I know that I just had them. I just don't know where they ended up. So maybe I just make one. Let's see. Put the lids back on these so we don't have a disaster on our hands any more than, me. Where's my 20 gauge? So I've only ever seen this done. I haven't done it myself. But if you don't have a good bead cap, you can use your round nose pliers to your advantage by just spiraling up your or down your jaws. Yeah, that's going to be way too long. So let's start at the bottom and work up instead. And I will do it on the spool. Okay, let me make sure I'm under camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. I just have the tip of my pliers in between those two barrels, but not where you can see them. And then I'm simply going to begin coiling this up my round nose pliers. Come on, will you please stay where you're supposed to be, sir? This one is not wanting to cooperate. So let me flip this over. And it's because this one is sticking out, so it's getting stuck on everything. Now, hopefully, okay, let's see. It's still not quite big enough. Why can't I figure this out? Okay. I'm just going to say that the top doesn't have to match the bottom on this one, and it'll be okay. Where did my other little... Oh, there it is. Where the heck did that just go? I just had it in my hand. I'm sorry, guys. Is that just... Oh, there it is. Oh, is that just telling me this isn't the move today? Like, that's what it was starting to feel like. Okay. I actually like the way it looks with just the spiral. Or, I mean, the crystal. So we will set this down. We will do, I'm going to put a silver ball at the top. I just need like the right size so that it kind of like, it doesn't fall all the way in, but it allows you to, it'll have to be the big one. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. There we go. Just so that it sits nicely within it. Because this is a bail, I am going to make the loop a little smaller. And I'm also going to do more wraps than I typically do. I wonder if I could spiral down over the ball bead. Let's see. That might be just what we were looking for, because then I could go down over the top of the bead. Hey, 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 we might have figured it out. Trying to decide if I like that or not. I'm not mad at it. So we will leave it like that. Cut that off, kind of tuck in my ends. And now we can finally get on to what we should be doing. And we're only 40 minutes into the live. I apologize, guys. Okay. I actually do not like the gray with that at all. So, what to do, what to do, what to do? I guess I can just put two little of the same size ball as I used underneath the wrap. I figure, hey, if I don't like the way it looks when all is said and done, I can take that off. I can take the wrap off. So it won't be like an issue if I don't like it. Okay, so don't like the gray. Let's see here. We've got the two silver spacers. We've got the squares in both glass and wood. So we can always alternate between those like we did in the other bracelet. I'm going to use my daisy spacer to my advantage. Then I'm going to put a glass cube on either side. Of the cube. Yes, like that. And then I'm just going to do another spacer, though I don't want to use too many up at the beginning or I won't have enough for later on. I do want to see one thing, just because I'm curious, because it's sitting on my Mac. Ooh. Sorry, Daisy Spacers, love you, but those bead caps look better. I'm just thankful we found that out this early in the process and not like yesterday where I almost had the design, or not yesterday, the day before, where I almost had the design completed and then I like changed stuff. Oh, I love the little bead caps on the cube. That's cute. Yeah, I actually really like that. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Yeah, I was off camera. I'm so sorry. So, who is saying that they never received their Delon, that's because I need to put the collections together for the pendants that you bought. I'm sending out emails with those after I finish here. So I'm sorry that it took a minute to get to that. I apologize. That was not my intent, nor is it ever my intent. Okay, so then if we're going to use those cubes like that, oh, you didn't do it on the other side, Heather? Yeah. If you weren't wanting a collection, let me know. I'm also going to move my camera down so I stop going off camera. I apologize. I'm not not liking the way that was sitting there, but I have a bunch of little baby beads I could do. Should I do the beads or do seed beads? Seed bead, cube, seed bead, or I will check the others. I'll put the other side on. Well, if seed beads are going to give me that kind of trouble all the way. Okay, yeah. Let me see the cubes. Glass cubes. They're both going to look similar, but this is one of those situations where if you wanted to do same design, multiple price points, rather than using the seed beads, you use your silver plated ball beads or sterling silver ball beads on it and see how you like it, and that helps it go. Okay. And that helps you decide. I am going to see what the ball bead looks like, though, real quick before I make my decision. My crystals were hiding from me. Okay. So this side is the seed bead, and this side is the ball bead. And I like the ball bead for this reason. The seed beads are flat. They're more of a rondelle, not a round. And I'm liking the look of the round bead up against the cube bead, just because it gives it added texture, because it's two different shapes right up on each other, so it works out. Beth, we gotta get your StreamYard set up so like you can honk at me when I go off screen. We'll just put a little sound effect up, and then you can tell me when I'm off screen. Okay, put them out right here instead of trying to find them up there. Da, da, da. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, then we have to decide where we're going from here. in my set, I still have pearls and I still have those 4 blue crystals, but that might be a moment with bead caps and spacers and whatever, using these kind of the same way I did in the pearl and red crystal necklace, where I had them like this, and then that becomes a secondary focal rather than possibly using more gemstones or whatever else. If you're trying to keep the price point, you can always do a focal with just a little pattern that breaks up your main pattern right at where it hits on the collarbone, which means that it's drawing your eye up to the face. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. I also have these pretties, and I know there was something specific I wanted to do with it. It's just I'm drawing a blank right now, so that's okay. Because those could be pretty too. As like a break in the pattern from the cubes. That could be pretty. But then we couldn't use the other blue ones up top. Or I just use my glass pearls and do what I said I was going to do and try to stick to the box content. So I can have used most everything that was in the box. Yeah, I like the pearls too. Yep, I like the pearl. That's good. Come on. I'm going to try cutting this at an angle, which is always easier to do with my Zuron shields, because I can get a sharper point. And it does, oh, do the other side too, Heather. That's the one I just cut. And I've noticed that when it is a sharper point like that, I don't have to deal with the end fraying and recut quite as often. So yeah. Alrighty then. Oh my goodness gracious. Come on. Much easier. Okay, so are we gonna alternate between the glass and the wood? I believe there were 5 pairs of the wood bead and 6 of the glass. Here's a wood bead, wood bead, wood bead, wood bead. Yes, there are more of the cubes of the wood than the other ones. Oops. I forgot my bead cap. Even the wood bead looks prettier with the bead cap. That's cool. Okay, it took a minute to get here, but we're here. We have our design, we have our pattern. I really like it. I'm going to do some kind of spacer situation. Like I said, at the collarbone, using the other ones, and then I will have used just about everything that came in my FOCs, which makes me happy because I just like when that happens, especially because it's happening before they're due. So I can still post them in order to get a ducky for the ducky race. And if you're new and don't know what it is I'm talking about, Randy from Thunder Horse Descendants puts together packages every month that have just random beads in them. And you take a picture of, you pay $9.30 for the bag, and then you hello. You get it, you take a picture of its contents before you start creating with it. You create at least one design. You do not have to use all of the contents of your bag, or do like I like to do, which is do my very best to only order or only use beads that I got from Randy outside of wire, spacers, possibly bead caps, stuff like that. It helps it stay. I allow myself that grace with it because I don't often get a lot of metal beads in the FOCs. Every once in a while there are, but they're all different. It's a challenge. You take 3 pictures, the first one being the just a picture of the content, and then maybe along the process, then you post it in the Thunder Horse Descendants Facebook page, which I will put in the description of this after I'm done here, so that you can, if you if you're not already a subscriber of Randy's, you can add on. Rosanna unboxed hers this morning. Yes, you only get, yeah, I only get one ducky. I asked for that, so yeah. Wait, my Beatus Bliss is Kimberly, not Jody, right? Right. Hello, Mary. Glad you're here. I probably messed that up. I'm sorry. Am I right? Like, what am I? I don't know. My brain's not allowing me to compute. Hopefully, you will correct me. Yes. Sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm just as excited that you're here, Kimberly. Thank you for watching as you do your work. Because if you know Kimberly, you know that she's working. Here we go. I'm excited. I found a way to make this work. Okay. Shiny, matte, shiny, matte, shiny. If you guys want me to to add spacers and bead caps and stuff like that to my sales, we can absolutely do so. I know that somebody asked for like teeny tiny hematite spacers. I can add those whenever. So if you bought some previously and want to get more, or maybe you saw them on a past live sale, you can always reach out to me. Even if you're watching a sale from 2 months ago, and as long as I can get the items in, then we'll be good. Okay, I think this is where our blue is going to hit. Yep. So now, oh, put the other round one on, Heather. Now I just have to figure out what the little pattern is going to be. And so that I don't do anything dumb, I'm going to put a clippy on this. Move my clippy box so that it wasn't so far away, and it's still so far away. Oh, wait. Ooh, where are the plastic clothespins in there? Okay, let's see. What are we going to do? Maybe we go from the smaller, I think this is a medium, right? Yeah. To a large silver one. And then do crystal. Maybe we do 2. Oh, wait, no, don't use those daisies. Use these ones. What do I want? 2 in between. Let's see what that looks like. I'm not mad at it. What do you guys think? I'm not sure about the daisy spacers. That's the only part. I like the space that it gives, but I'm not sure that I like the, what's the word you're looking for, Heather? The color of those. But because if you know, like, guys, I order these in bulk whenever possible. So if you ever see me use something and you like the way it looks, let me know. Okay, these are just little pinwheel spacers. Yes, I like that much better. The other ones were just a little too dull for what I was trying to accomplish. And then we'll go back down from larger to medium to the small beads. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the pattern again just so you can see. And I think I will probably do a pearl on the other side and then go back to my regular pattern. Oops. Okay, what do you think? I'm wondering if I added too many beads though. That's my only thing before I did it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to actually go down. Let's see. I think it's gonna be where this black bead is that I want to do the pattern. I think the other way would have made it in the wrong direction. So let's turn that back on. And just out of curiosity, because I didn't check it with this spacer. I don't know that I like the added seed or the added ball spacers. I think if I take those off, I will be happier with the break that this creates. Or I wonder, I don't think I have them right here. This is just my bead FOMO, you guys. That happens most projects where I'm like, if I don't try everything, I think that I'm going to leave off the extra spacers and just double up the, I'm gonna leave the ball spacers off and just do that for my break. I like it. It's pretty and it's not, I thought that the other ball spacers were going, made it too much of a focal, and so then I didn't like the way it was looking with the rest of it. Um, when somebody else shows up to the wedding in a white dress, that kind of situation. All right, there we go. Back to the pearls. And then I may switch over to the other side, get caught up so that I can see what this looks like so far. Okay, switch the clip, go to the other side. Apparently we're yeah, it was pretty. I'm hoping and praying and crossing all the things that they're just taking their sweet time to get to you guys. And that it's not showing up on informed delivery because it went as if it was like an envelope inside. An envelope and not a package. That's what I'm hoping for. Especially because Beth wanted it. She was so excited about it. We'll talk afterwards, Mama, and figure out an alternative for for Rosanna's. Oh. I think getting the 2 packets makes it a little easier to design with because you can just mix and match the pieces. And anytime I've ordered a second package, it's always different than the first. The only thing that was the same in this was the pearl bracelets. One of my packets had 2, the other one had 1, which worked out because I was able to use the single one as a focal and the pair as earrings. So that worked out. I will also get the collection options finalized and sent off. I'll probably only do 2 of the black banded agate and 2 of the sodalite ones. That way, since you aren't seeing them live, it just makes it a little bit easier. But I will take pictures and put a list on it so that you can see that's not the same ball spacer. So that you can see it both visually and in list form. Cause I know you're waiting for them. We have found a way to streamline the process so the shipping goes a little faster. We just have buckets for each person who orders, and then we just, as we're going, Brock makes a list when he's here, and my hubby just puts the item into whoever bucket it belongs to. So instead of having to do the list after, or even just go through the comments and put together the list and then pull the list and all of that. Obviously, the only time that, wow, silver does not want to break apart. There we go. And then I'm going to get to designing with bargain bead box. I might even do a video later today. And then I'll have it to work with as well after I get the collections out. That will be the determining factor, is that once I get the options put together and sent out. All of the invoices are already drafts, so as soon as you pick if you want a collection or not, I will be able to add those and get the invoice out quickly. And then once the invoice is paid, we can package them and send them out. I'm liking. Okay, let's make sure we don't go too far up. How do I did go too far up. Okay, so it's this black bead. You just need to pull that off. The crystals on. Two of the pinwheel spacers. The other crystal, and then back to the regularly scheduled program. I like the way this is looking. But oh, another thing with the FOCs, you only have to use one thing. You also don't have to do multiple projects like I do. I just wanted to clear that up. That is something I do. Just like the only use beads that I've gotten in orders from Randy. That's a me thing, not a like requirement put out by Randy, not Randy, Randy. So that's good to go. Also, I'm trying to figure out why my content isn't showing up unless you go to a list. Like you go under the playlist or you go under the live, then you can see it all. I don't know why that is happening. I am trying to get it figured out. But if you're wanting to go back and rewatch something, you can still do so. You just need to go to the playlist or the little tab that says live. So that's, I'm trying to get that figured out. I don't know what it is. I also didn't realize that I have to go back and on all of my lives add the whether or not it's good for kids kind of thing. But yeah, okay, I did glass. Now we're gonna do wood. That holder. No, it's good. But yeah, this should be the my last day. No, this is my last day. I want to get on to my other box as well as just beading with some of the beads that will be coming up in a sale, because I think I've done very well at using my box as it came. Obviously, I used the focal bead that wasn't part of it, but so I did wood. I need to do a glass bead again. And I'm gonna see where I'm at lengthwise, because I think we should be good soon. And then that would hopefully allow me enough to make maybe a matching bracelet or earrings, depending upon how much is left after I'm done with this necklace. Okay, pearl, I believe this is where I'm at on the other side. Oops. No, I'm actually much further on this side. So let's end our pattern with the ball spacer and see, finish the other side up, and then this should be good to go once I get the other side caught up, because yeah, we're at 18 inches. I might do one last bead. I don't know though. I don't want to shortchange this just to make a matching bracelet. Oh, dang it, I made a mistake. It'll be fine. I didn't go back to a pearl, but it's okay because it's much faster to pull this off and just continue the pattern as if there wasn't that little break. So rather than pull off all those other beads, because I would have been from here all the way up. I'm not mad about, like, it wasn't what I was originally going to do, but it doesn't look bad to just go along. But yeah. Okay. I will go check that out, Linda. Beth, would you mind making a note of those steps just so I don't forget? Because you know your girl that doesn't remember stuff like that. Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate that. I'm pretty pleased with the pieces that I've been able to do using my FOCs. When I first started getting it, I would just be completely lost. And I would sit there and look at my bead mat and sit there and look at my bead mat, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what I was going to do with it. Okay, this wooden bead for some reason has a much larger hole. So I'm going to, I think this one is too big. Yeah, that one's too big. I'm going to stick a ball spacer inside of the bead to, oh, that one's too big too. Almost the right size. So we probably just need, I have these teeny tiny crimp beads that are a little bit bigger than the ball spacers I'm using in the pattern and the size I just tried to use. Okay, that good? Much better. So it's not as wobbly on the strand when I do that. Because otherwise they just kick and move around and they don't stay where they're supposed to be, and it makes the bead caps look crooked and everything else. So that's why I did that. Oh, that's seed bead, not a ball spacer. I could have also used seed beads had I thought of it a second ago. You can also use seed beads to do that. So if you ever have a bead that has a little bit wider hole and you just don't like the way that it's sitting, it might just need to have some stabilizers within it. Look at the hearts, Heather. Okay, I'm looking. Go ahead and do it. Let's see if I can see them. I can't see them. I'm gonna have to go watch this on replay and see if the hearts pop up. So, because I'm interested. If ever I ask you a question that's too personal, please know I'm not trying to be nosy. I'm genuinely a curious person. So that's all it is. In fact, Dawn and I were talking about that the other night because she's the same way. I just like want to know what makes you you. That's all. I'm genuinely just a curious person. But feel free to say, that's too personal, Heather. I'm bummed. I don't know if I just can't see him in here because I'm using StreamYard and not I'm not streaming straight from YouTube. I've thought about trying it out, but I don't think you can have multiple camera angles, is the thing, which I like. For some reason, it makes me feel, I don't know, like I'm part of it, which is silly because obviously I'm part of it, but let's see here. All right, so that's the necklace. And I never know if you're supposed to measure with the focal or not. I know some people do, but just the beaded portion is right at 18 inches. So I think I'm going to do one more little pattern. I just so it fills in a little bit more. I don't know how to say that. I just want it a tiny bit longer. I could always just do chain on the back of the neck. That's genuinely when I'm designing for myself how I like to do it, because sometimes with my neuropathy and stuff, it feels weird on the back of my neck to have the beads there. Come on, go on. But yeah, I just try. And if you guys get annoyed with like my little tips, like, oh, put the bead inside that if it has a larger hole, you can tell me. I'm also thinking of doing a short just on oh my gosh. What was I just about to say? Couldn't tell you. So this one, because, well, am I going to use magical crimper and just use a gunmetal? Hmm. Okay. So I have to do one more pattern on the other side. And then I think this will be where I want. I'm still going to put extender chain on this necklace because this is legit something that I would wear with a sweater. Okay, let's see if this one's gonna have to be filled up too, but we'll try it with seed beads this time. No, it should be okay. If the seed bead doesn't fit, it shouldn't wiggle and wobble too much, but let me try those little print beads I did on the other one. Yep, that doesn't fit in, so it shouldn't be an issue with that one. Where? There's one more. I pulled out way too few of them because I still need to do. Oh no, I did my last curl, and then I should be good. Hers we go. Hers we go. And obviously, if you don't like how long this is, you can also just, if you were doing a necklace like this, obviously this isn't one that you, I can put out like an item sheet for. Like, that's not a possibility with this, but if you have glass beads in your stash and you have some wood or check glass beads in your stash, then you should be good to go. Okay, everything is lining up. I'm still not quite for sure about this twisted veil down there. I'm not mad at it. I'm just kind of going back and forth on whether or not I like it is all. I think I'm going to use a bead tip on this because I used the red soft flex so that I didn't use the one I did yesterday. So where are they? Oh, I was like, I had some spilled on accident. Where'd they go? Okay. Teeny tiny print bead. We're gonna go in there. Hug kiss. We're good. And then we can pull the beads all the way down. On the other side. I don't think there's enough left to do a bracelet, but you never know. I'll measure it when I'm done. Maybe it is long enough. So you're gonna spread that out a little bit. Put it on your strand. I'm gonna find another one of those little teeny tiny beads. Okay. I like to softly run my hand down from one side to the other. I don't do so, like, I don't try to push them down. That just gets out any little bits, any little gaps that might be there, but it won't, what's what I'm looking for? It won't take away from like the fluidity of motion. All right, that's not going anywhere. It doesn't take away from that. I still want it to move freely and not be stiff, obviously. There's another jump. I had my lobster clasps right here. Come on, are we really gonna do this again? I just literally had them out on my mat yesterday. Well, that'll get a lobster clasp later, apparently. Okay, let's see where we're at as far as measurements and see if this is long enough to make a bracelet with. It's right at 6 inches, so I absolutely can. I'm trying to figure out what I would put in the center. Oh, duh, Heather, you have all those beautiful black agate beads. That's pretty. That could be our focal on here. It's ginormous, though. I might need to find a smaller one. It's so beautiful, though. Oh, let me see if the smaller. I only have 5 of these faceted beads, so it's gonna. Actually, I'm gonna keep those for something special. Not that this isn't special, but when there's an item that would be difficult to replace if I so wanted to, here, we'll do that oval. And I had 7 of those little ovals, so now I can make those into earring pairs, should I decide to do so. Okay, so let's see here. Will this look funny if I put this on either side of the oval? No, it does not look funny. I actually like the way that looks. Okay, clippy on one side. And I know I'm gonna have to put length on the back. I'm okay with that. I can always do so like at a later time. And then we're just going to do the same as the necklace if I don't flick these across my mat. Go to up. Top. I don't even know why I tried to pick up on a mat like today. But I am trying to get better at my ability to do that with small beads straight off the mat. It truly is a skill in and of itself. So okay. I have Two of these. That one looks just a little bit too rounded, but this one looks like it will need some seed beads if they will fit. Do they fit in there? Nope, nope, they don't. That was operator error through and through, but it's okay. Happens to the best of us, right? Those who can't teach, I guess. The seed bead does actually fit in the hole, so it was just me that did that. There we go. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. Found them. That's why it looked like I was staring into space for a second. I knew I had those, so I was like, and didn't just have them, they were out on my mat or on my desk. Though, oh, come on, please go in. Rather than sit here and fight and fuss with every single bead to go on, I will just snip that now so that you guys don't have to watch me struggle with these itty bitty tiny beads all day long. Girls. Girlfriend, Ramsey, you okay? She just like let out a little whimper. Also, bead caps are a good way to keep beads with a large hole centered, because it sits on either side of it, so then you don't always have to put a bead down inside a larger hole on the wire. It's just something I like to do. So back to the pearl, and we'll see if I think I can get another agate on either side, because that's what I would like to do. And I think I have the room, so I'm going to put it on this side, see what I think, put a clip at the end, make sure there's room on the other side before I crimp anything off. All I'm going to say is, damn Durkums. I'm even wearing one of my Durkums awareness shirts today. So, I just had to fully represent. Make everybody aware. I do indeed have enough room to put one more agate on either side, and then I will crimp off. Bring that all the way down to the bottom of the string. Squish, squish. Tug test is good. If you're ever using these and can't seem to get those loops to line up, if you squish the middle, it pulls them together. Just another one of those little tips. Okay, I am probably going to have to put more length on the back, but I'm gonna wait and see. because I can always just add it using the I don't know what I was gonna say. Using jump rings. But I could be wrong. I could have plenty. We will see. Oh, that's crimp bead. You don't want a crimp bead quite yet. I am, however, cutting this very close. There, a little. Okay. We're gonna open our bead tip, put it on. And then I'm going to put a bead tip on the end of my wire, if I can even see it. Because yes, your girl cut it that close. But hey, see? I just need to open the bead tip wider so I can see my little crimp bead. Because it is silver on silver, so it's a little difficult to see when it was closed more. Did I get it on there? No. I don't know why this little bead tip. Okay, you don't want to come to the party? I will find another one. And in the meantime, hold that over there. Here's another. Okay, I do want space so that it's not stiff. There's not even anything to cut off, you guys. That's how close of a call that was. But there's fluidity, so it's not stiff at all. So I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. And then I'm going to pull everything up that I made this month with my FOCs. Once I figure out if this needs more than just these last two bead caps or these last little space. And if I need to, I can always make the jump ring by my that I attach my lobster claw with smaller. But I don't think it's going to be a problem of whether it's small enough or big enough. Where did he put my? I love my hubby, and I love when we work together. But sometimes things get moved, and I can't find the following day that I need it. And then I have to hear this yucky sound. Oh, that one wasn't that bad today, thankfully. Oh, will you look at that? I have been looking for my knotting thing for, oh, goodness gracious. Okay, it's at 6.5. So perfect. I'll put a little extender clasp on it and we shall be good to go. Let me go ahead and attach my lobster clasp to my necklace. And then we will, Heather, use the right tools. Fingernails, while sometimes they help, they're not a tool. And this is okay. So I'm gonna squish everything off to the perimeter of my mat so that I can get a clean slate for you guys to see everything I made with this month's FOC as well as what's left over. And you know your girl might still end up doing one more thing, but if I do, it won't be on camera. It will just be something I do. And I'll share it, obviously, when I share the rest of my creations. Okay. Trying to get all the little bits and pieces out of the way. So if I do it with my hand, they tend to go flying. Alrighty, so I got 2 FOCs from Randy this month. And from those 2 FOCs, where's the other bracelet that this whole thing started with? Now I show everything. Oh no. Okay, well, that first elusive bracelet that keeps getting lost apparently doesn't want to be part of the lineup as I go through and show everything that I made. Also, where are the red pieces? Oh, it might be over here on this side of the desk too. It is. Yay! Okay, now we can go through everything that I made. So, I swear y'all, I'm this close to going back to bed and waiting for tomorrow to come. If I didn't have orders to finish, and why didn't I just use the bead tray to pick all this up? Because that would have made sense, right? Okay, so I got 2 FOCs from Randy this month. The very first design that I did was this bracelet, and I alternated. It was just this one little barrel, banded agate barrel, and then these are acrylic beads that were part of it. And then I alternated between the glass and the matte wood beads. And so that was the first bracelet. Then I believe we moved on to the necklace next, which is, I swear I just had it. Did it slide off onto the floor? Wait, nope. Oh, again, I just wasn't looking. And then I made this necklace. These were not part of the FOC, nor was this. This I was just using the blue bicones that came in the box. And then I created that matching bracelet. And I made this stacker bracelet using the clear glass beads that were part of the FOC. And I used the twirly whirls, I'll call these right there, check glass between those. So those I believe were all video. This was the first video. I made these the next day. And then we went to this, I'm pretty sure. That candy cane. And from that candy cane came this one. These are beads that I got in hello. Zoom out so they can see everything. Okay. I got these in some of my scoop spots. Same with the white crystals that I used there. But after I did that, I made this necklace with the little angels. There is a matching bracelet that I didn't feel the need to put a focal on. But if I'd thought about it at the time, I could have just done a bigger pearl right there in the center because that's the center of the bracelet. But it's okay. You don't always need a separate piece of jewelry. This is one of the two earrings I did with the little angels hanging from them. I love the little, this little, I wish I knew what flower this was so I could search for it because it's like the most perfect shape for an angel dress, in my opinion. I just love it. If I get up too close to the light, you can't see as well. Here, let me fix that real quick. So, see how it has that like opening right in the front, and then it's got like a train to it? Love it. If you know which flower shape that is, I would love to do it. Okay, sorry, what's wrong? I was checking down. Rosanna doesn't like. I'm sorry. We'll figure it out, I promise. Rosanna's back from PT. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Rosanna, you're lucky I don't know your middle name because you would get middle named right now. If you are watching this on the replay, you need to go look at the live comments. Just saying. Oh my gosh, I needed that so much. Oh, that was great. Okay, back to the regular scheduled program. Thank you for making me laugh, Rosanna. I know you did it just for me. Okay, so then next up, I don't think this was next, but I made this little necklace because I had two of these interestingly shaped little beads, but I like them as just a really simple light floral. And then I made the chain using those links that I was showing off earlier, which I bought hundreds of in both silver and gold. So I bought a bunch of those. And then this was the matching bracelet that went with it. I don't think I made earrings for that, but it's okay. Maybe that's what I'll use to use up some of the rest of my beads. I'll make some beads with the leftover squares and tubes. So then this is the necklace I made today. I really like the way that it looks. And then I just made this bracelet. And after all of that, if I'm looking, here's the other earring. I'm perusing my mat real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope. This is all that was left of my 2 FOC packets. So I think I did pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that outcome. I do have some more blue ones, and I found a second twirly whirl. So if you guys want to watch me, I can make them right now. They're going to be very simple. I'm just going to like put a bicone on either side of that with some spacers because I happen to have 4. So that works out. It's up to you though. I can make these off camera. I don't need an audience to finish this up, but it's up to you. If you want me to make the 2 pair of earrings really quick, I can. I have my leftover soft flex, but I would probably do a knotted head pin. It's up to you. If you guys want me to call it quits right here and do those off camera, I can do so. If you want to watch me make them really quick. And if you have to go, please know that's totally okay. If you have not liked the button, liked this video, I would appreciate it if you would. You could also comment and share this with other people that you know that do beading. I also have membership option of $9.99 a month. You get 5% off of all orders placed with me. I'm going to do a smaller one that's $4.99, and then I will probably do a members only video or whatever. Okay, I'll do them, guys. All right, if you're sure, I will go ahead and do it. And then yes, I'm going to take a picture because I worked hard to do all of these. So I most definitely hope that you guys all have been enjoying. I'm ecstatic that I got this many projects out of this. These will probably just be stick earrings. I'm just going to do my knotted head pin, rotate it up, put it in through the bottom. And when I make the other one, I'll do that much slower in case you have not made knotted head pins before. I will go through the process slower. I apologize. Going to put my nylon jaw plier right up against my loops, and then I'm going to use, I just pulled the other one out. I'm just going to grab this. Yeah. Gonna pull it through nice and tight. You get a little knotted head pin just like that. I like to kind of push it up ever so slightly. Where are my green zero crimpers, which is perfect for this. I'm just going to do that and then run it through just in case I got any kinks or whatnot, which, okay. So we're going to use a blue bicone, 2 daisy spacers or 1. We'll see. Let's see. Let's go with 1. I am sitting here noticing, though, that I use the bright silver daisy spacers and not these. So yeah, I'm gonna change that because I don't want this to be something that I get frustrated with and just like break it apart because it doesn't match later on. Let's go ahead. I've got a show this weekend. Well, Friday night. And of course, I only need a few. That's the thing that's frustrating me right now. Oh, I know where they are. They're right here. So I am going to use the bright silver daisy spacers because that's what I used, as I said 2 minutes ago. Yeah, like that much better. I also like the size better, and they have smaller holes, so it sits on it much nicer. And then we're just going to bend up over the top and down, rotate the pliers parallel with the bead mat, grab onto my tail, and just go around once. And it's not even a full turn. Just until your wire meets up with where your loop started originally. Nip in there. Make sure that you don't need anything. There we go. I was just making my loop more round. Okay, let me go through this slowly this time. So this is a knotted head pin. These come in very handy when you want your metal to match the rest of your necklace when you've used a lot of your wire, or if you don't have a head pin or a ball head pin. All you do is take the tip of the pliers to the tip of your wires and you go around and you rotate until it comes back around the second time. My loops are not all squished, right? So I fixed that. Then while it's on the pliers, it's much easier to start the bend when it's that way so that it's easier to pull it through. Then you're going to do like I did before, which is match my loops up against the nylon jaw pliers, take another pair of pliers and pull it through. Sometimes I go and squish these back more, a little like squish it more together, but I'm okay with the way that knot looks today. Quite happy with it actually. Okay. Uh-oh. I remember why these weren't used now. Dang it. I have to change my other earring. I forgot that this wasn't fully drilled. Man. That's not going to go on. So, time to pivot. Mm-hmm. It also messed up my loop, so it's not centered in the bottom anymore. Okay. I don't know that these daisy spacers will fit on and lay flush with mine. They do indeed. So let's try this. On here, actually, we had on the necklace itself, we had a ball spacer on either side. and then daisy spacers, and then a ball spacer. So I'm just going to mimic that in order to get myself more length. So then I'm just going to put one of the little 1.5 millimeter ball spacers on the other side. And then I'm going to put my bicone that does have a good hole, I hope. Yes, on. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There. And then I'm going to wrap this up. And then I will do the whirly whirl on its own little thing and connect it to this. Okay, like that. Take my round nose plier, bend back slightly. I like smaller loops, so I'm going to go up, over, down, rotate, hold that right there, and just around to complete the loop. Typically, I wouldn't do a ball spacer before I started using my hybrid link that I like to do. I would forego this ball because the wraps kind of represented that, although I was never pleased with the overall look. I do like that the ball, you can actually see that spacer and that it's not like competing with the wraps for attention. I also forgot to show you this bracelet. Well, look, I can't wait to do a final tally. And I'm going to switch these out with hematite because I do have hematite, and then I'll take my pictures at that point. Okay, we are going to need one. We're going to need 3 more knotted head pins, so I might as well cut off the length while I'm already doing so instead of starting and stopping. I'm just going to do these assembly line style so I'm not having to pick up and put down tools over and over again. Okay, so then we're going to put that through the loop and grab our nylon jaw pliers and pull the knot in place. Sorry. I'm like all in the journey and didn't explain any of that. But you can rewind to where I did it before. Okay. There we go. So we're going to start by putting a ball spacer on. 2 daisy spacers. Oh, that one won't work. But I think I should still get credit, right? I forgot that I put a ball spacer on the other side of that. I don't know why I keep taking out a couple of these ball spacers at a time, especially when I know I'm going to be using them. That on. Ball spacer, 2 daisy spacers. And, well, 2 daisy spacers and the less ball head spacer. That is a seed bead. Put that on. And then for the bottom part. Oh, wait, what am I doing? This can't be a knotted head pin. Otherwise, I can't. I have to, duh. I'm so glad I realized that and didn't just completely embarrass myself. I got in the groove. And now watch, I'm probably going to want those with the other pair of earrings, but it's okay. Goodness. That's funny. Not as funny as Rosanna, but funny. Okay, so then we're going to do the ball spacer again. Two daisy spacers. I'm just going to go. That's the rest of what I have anyways. Looks like there's a little bit of wire scraps in there as well, but hey. I'm not sure that I like the ball spacer on this as much. Yeah, I like that better. I know I did it the other way on the necklace. I don't care if I did it the other way on the necklace. I like the look of this better. They're my earrings. I can do what I want. So we're 2 daisy spacer. It's called Creative License, right? Apparently, my round nose pliers here were magnetized at one point or another. Oh, I didn't finish making those. I did the one. I will have to make the other one still. Ah, Linda, you're gonna have to like show me how you do that thing where you just like pull the wire back and forth and back and forth. You guys are gonna laugh at me. I want the larger bead on the bottom. Yep, I want the larger bead on the bottom. Sorry, I was like, oh, this will be a quick couple pairs of earrings. I just think that I'm going to like it better the other way. Oh, goodness gracious, Heather. Okay, so let's try this. I wish there was a way I could have salvaged it, but because I used the just a matter of doing it over. I'm going to complete the one earring start to finish so that I can verify that I do indeed like it at the bottom better. But very pretty. So what am I doing? Heather, you want the orb on the bottom. Or whatever that little twirly whirly is. Oh, sometimes when you're making something, you just like wiggle the wire back and forth and it breaks. And I'm just curious as to like how that happens and if you have to be using a specific gauge wire. Like rather than going in with your cutters, sometimes you just do it. I don't know how to else to say it, but to say by wiggling it back and forth. So I'm just curious if you do that with just one gauge, if you can do it with all gauges. That's all. I hope you can understand what I'm seeing. Okay, let's see here. Is somebody else live right now? Like, am I encroaching on somebody else's channel? If I am, please let me know. I don't like to do that. It's not Thursday. Thursday is Rosanna. Okay, gotcha. So it's 24 gauge and smaller. Okay. Thank you for clarifying for me. And in case you didn't notice, I decided not to put the ball spacer on either side of the, like, to do the two daisies ball spacer, two daisy spacers, ball head pin, then the bicone. I just did the two daisy spacers, starting with and ending with the ball head pin or the ball pin. Then I've got to remember to attach this to the other link and not just wrap up like normal. Yes, I like that much better. I like it with the bicone up top. So I'm glad I did that. And I went with my gut. And if you're making a ball head pin with a thinner wire, you want to make sure that you don't pull too tight, because it will just pull the knot undone if you're using 24 gauge and down. For some reason, I don't know what a ball head pin on anything smaller than 22 would be used. I would be afraid that it would break too easily. I was just like, wait, do I need to attach that? No, the blue one will attach it. Well, hey there. This one already has the first loop, so we will just utilize my previous self's effort and use that now. Okay. Uh-oh. I just realized that I didn't put my ball head spacer on the top of that. So I'm hoping, yeah, okay, that went down. Good, good, good. All right. I will remake this the second earring off camera and move on to the next one because I just realized that I didn't attach it. And I already had to restart on this one once before, so we will just move on to the next because we've already been on here for almost 3 hours. I am surprised anybody's left, but I'm glad you are. Hopefully, you're just beading right along with me and or laughing at my ridiculousness. Okay, up next, let's do the, I say we do. We do two. I am going to use 20 gauge wire on this one. Because it is just going to be a stick earring. That way it's stronger. And I know I just said that anything above that a 22 gauge wire is best for knotted head pins. I still stand by that. I'm just, I've just been doing it for a long time, so sometimes it works out in my favor and other times not so much. But oops, for some reason, once I started coiling, I noticed that I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, I noticed at the beginning of the coil was really like it was flat, it wasn't curved. See, it can be done. It's just a little bit harder, especially if you have dexterity issues. Okay. Who is calling me? Hi, Squishy. Gigi's gonna call you back in just a few minutes, okay? I love you. Okay, now I gotta hurry, guys. Can't leave my girl hanging. So I'm going to do a square, a pearl, that's a head pin, and then the glass pearl. So this will be one of the earrings. As I said, it will just be a stick. These ones all will. Hopefully, Selena will just know we're playing peekaboo. Mommy can say, "Where's Gigi?" Okay, and then what was the other one I was going to do? Oh, I was going to do a I think I like the shorter ones for this. So how did I do that? I did put, so I did that one. Let's go ahead and do a pearl. A tube. I like that. It just needs a bigger ball spacer to it. I'm going to go ahead and pull out a larger one. I don't know. I might make this into a dangly one instead of a stick one because I think, I don't know. I'll play with that. But there are two more, so I used even more of the stuff. And if I'm pulling out what I used for the earrings, which might change, this is what I have left. So I'm excited. Okay. Yeah, I could. Oh, really? I'll have to try that. Okay. I think that's all, everybody. I'm happy you guys all stuck with me. I got way more out of these than I thought I would with minimal use of beads from my stash. So I'm happy about that. And I'm happy that you guys all, ones who stayed with me, did so. I know my hair's whatever. But, anyways, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed going through this and watching me create as much as I did out of essentially $18 worth of products. So, I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.